Hello, happy Sunday, my friends. The last video I did, I was on break from yoga teacher training and I looked like it. So I thought since I did my hair today, I would come on and do a video. I was having a good conversation with a friend of mine on social media last week. And one of the things that he pushed back on when I was sharing a post about how important it is to take care of ourselves when we are in helping professions, when we are teachers. He asked this great question. He wanted to know how we hold people accountable to teach great classes and really high quality, provide high quality educational experiences in schools if we are going to redesign the way we do things so that people can have that self-care time that they need. It's a great question. And one of the questions I asked of him after that, and one of the questions that I will ask of you is, at what point did we get to a place where it was a requirement of providing excellent instruction that we not be able to care for ourselves? That is something that I fundamentally want to push back on, and I think it's one of the reasons that I feel so passionate about what we're doing here at Elevated Harmonics and the workshop that's coming up beginning on July 1st. Our virtual teacher wellbeing workshop is going to launch and it will run through July. The kickoff is going to be on Zoom, and so you can be with other people who are going to be taking on the challenge. And then every week on Mondays, you're going to get some content delivered to your email box that you can work through on your own throughout the week so that it is convenient for people to take on while they're on vacation and doing their summer thing at a time that works for you. But let me back up. When did we get to the point where we decided that people couldn't provide great content if they were really investing in themselves and in building a community of care? So I've said this before, but a friend of mine said she cringes when she hears the word self-care because she just thinks to herself, I can't do one more thing. And what would it look like if we built communities that encouraged one another to do those things that we need to do to be well? And it's not just things that we, decided we like or whatever, but it's things that have been supported by researchers and science that do lead to well-being and happiness, right? So these are not just things we just decided we need one day, right? These are practices that we can build into our lives, that we can model for our students and our colleagues, that we can encourage one another on to truly be well, to truly make that time. So I participated in one of those things today, which is connection with friends. I met up with some women from my small group at church, and we got to have dinner together. We haven't been meeting over the summer, and so it was so good to just catch up and exchange stories and check in on each other and laugh together and get to smile and get to encourage one another. And especially coming out of this time where we have all been more isolated, it's really important to make time for those in-person relationships. And I know we're all discovering that again, and we're discovering what we feel comfortable with, and what parameters we can put on that really allow us to be participating in fellowship and in friendship in ways where we feel safe and we feel supported and we feel secure. So moving back into the school year, I really think that a lot of us are going to realize that we have been through quite a time of turmoil, and we have been through quite a time of not being able to gauge where we feel safe and where we feel comfortable and confident. Like at schools, that has been a risky place. There is going to be some trauma that will be uncovered as people are going back into the classroom and figuring out how they can be with other people. Do we feel safe? Do we feel unsafe when we are no longer masked? What does that look like? In every community, it's going to be different, and for every human, it's going to be different. So first and foremost, teachers, we have got to do the work of getting back to the place where we feel fully filled. Our jug, our cup is fully filled so that it may runneth over, so that we can serve all of the people that are in our sphere and in our care. That, I believe, has to be our priority this summer. And everybody's doing that differently. And I'm excited to hear how you are taking that on. And this July Wellbeing Workshop is going to be something that can just, it's not going to teach you a ton of new information, right? Necessarily. You might know a lot of this stuff, but hopefully it will illuminate some things that research is sort of providing a thread that connects some of these elements and some of these ideas that we've already been playing with and toying with. We're going to connect it in new ways. We're going to think of new ways to weave it into our daily practice so that it feels more like a habit than it does like something we have to think about really hard to make happen. And you know, that whole process is so important for us to take on this summer, to get back into a place where we feel like we can pour out for others who are in our lives. Because that's what we do best, teachers. We are so good at making sure that everybody else is okay. And here we are going to be thinking about what we need, right? But it can't be one of those things that we do over the summer, because I know I've done this too. It can't be one of those things where we do over the summer and then we let go, right? If we want to have a profession that people can do for 30 years, that people can stick with, we need more teachers than are sticking with it right now. To be very honest, we need people in the profession that are going to continue to be in the profession for longer than the amount of time that is the average. So what can we do? What needs to change? What needs to shift? I'm sitting in my car as it's raining, and I just keep thinking to myself as I'm hearing this rain pour down, what does it look like to have something washed away, right? We have this moment where we can really take time to think about that and to set some goals and make some decisions as to what we want to keep in our lives and in our practice and in our daily routines, and what can fall away. And I really believe that before we make those decisions for our classroom, which need to be done, we really need to look at what we're doing for ourselves first. How we can be well, whole, healthy, happy, settled human beings so that we can identify and encourage those behaviors in other people. If we're responsible for shaping the behaviors of other people, we really need to be able to do that in ourselves too. So this work is vital, and this is the time to do it. That's why I chose to run the Wellbeing Workshop in July, because hopefully you are like deep into I have a couple different friends who refer to themselves as summer version, right? Like, so I have my dear friend Summer Stacy, and Summer Ron is another one that I think of. So are you being the version of yourself that's the best in the summer? And how can we take that into the school year? What does that look like? What does it look like to model functioning that is sustainable? What would that mean for our students if they saw us do that? What would that mean for our colleagues if we encouraged one another to make decisions in that way? What would it mean for our schools? Might we have to do some things differently? And might that be okay? I think it's worth considering. And I'm really excited to hear your ideas about it too. So if you would, drop them in the comments. I would love to hear from you. That brings me such joy to know. And I've had some people say, oh, I watched your video, and they want to talk about it in person. I love that, but it really helps me if you will comment below, if you will like, and if you'll subscribe to my channel. So thank you for doing all of those things. And if you are interested in registering for the July Wellbeing Workshop that's virtual, that will be kicking off on July 1st, please don't hesitate to do that. You can get to that in the link in the comments for this particular video, or just by going directly to my website at elevatedharmonics.com. I look forward to seeing you and meeting you and working with you as we get into the rest of the summer. Talk to you soon. Bye.